Staff at Bolton Hospital clapped to commemorate 1 year since the first lockdown and 1 year since they lost their first patient to COVID. Events were held across the NorthWest to remember those who died and the efforts of those who tried to save them.
We remember those who have lost members of their families or their friends, those who served others in the National Health Service and care homes.
1 year ago, as lockdown measures were brought in, the Prime Minister, for the first time, uttered the words that would resonate throughout 2020.
I urge you, at this moment of national emergency, to stay at home, protect our NHS and save lives.
It seemed that within hours our towns and cities emptied themselves of virtually all activity. Shops and schools closed, roads were quiet, and a surreal sense of unease descended on the whole country. Behind closed doors, the death toll began to rise. As we clapped for carers and the NHS, hospital staff explained the new challenges they faced.
When you've got patients who are anxious or scared, it's difficult when they can't properly see your face and you can't shake hands. It's challenging to try and make people see that there's a person underneath the mask.
For many, like residents of this street in Crosby, lockdown was an opportunity for some communal get-togethers.
You can't be cooped in all the time, I mean, you need that outlet, and this is an outlet for everyone.
By July, the first wave of COVID had passed. Lockdown was lifted and pubs, restaurants and businesses reopened. But before the month was out, restrictions were reimposed in Greater Manchester and parts of Lancashire, leaving many angry and confused.
The guidelines are extremely confusing. And I just wonder why it's such an emergency that they've introduced it at the last minute like this.
Eat Out to Help Out may have brought back the feel-good factor throughout August, but infection rates began to rise again in September after schools and colleges reopened. In the weeks that followed, a second wave of infections took hold. Children went back to homeschooling and the tier system put local politicians on a collision course with the government.
Are they playing poker with places and people's lives through a pandemic? Is that what this is about?
But hope wasn't far away. The vaccine was here.
86-year-old Ted Jones became one of the first in the NorthWest and one of the first in the world to be given the coronavirus vaccine.
I never felt it, actually, to be honest with you. I felt the flu jab more than I felt that one.
Professor Tom Solomon is the director of the UK's Emerging Infections Unit in Liverpool. He's proud of what they and the city has achieved during the pandemic.
We led this massive national programme studying hospitalised patients so we could understand who got sick and why and what we could do to stop it happening. We did in Liverpool the mass testing programme to show that if you test people, not just those who are sick, but if you test everybody, you'll detect more cases and you can therefore stop transmission.
We just can't wait to open now. 12th of April can't come soon enough.
In Bolton, restaurant director Richard Hibbert puts the finishing touches to his outdoor seating area. Under the roadmap for ending lockdown, he can reopen these seats to customers in a couple of weeks. He's overjoyed, but still has reservations about what the future may hold.
We just hope that we can stick to those dates. If we do see a spike in infection rates, are those dates just going to get pushed back and back and back? That's the big worry for us.
Uncertainty over just when the pandemic will finally end still lingers, but with the vaccination programme hailed a success, it's hoped we won't ever see a repeat of those dark days of 2020. Tim Scott, ITV News.